and welcome to Young Turks, the show that puts the spotlight on two young achievers every single week and takes you through their journey to success. I'm Shireen Bhan and joining me on the show is Anita Balagopalan. Hi Anita.
Hi Shireen, my guest for today is a spine surgeon, a marathon runner and a budding rock star. Find out more about Dr. Abhiney, but that's a little later on the show. For now, it's back to Shireen.
My guest today was born to ride, but he decided to change gears, and instead of joining the family-run automobile business, he decided to give the service sector a shot. Let's catch up with Rahul Munjal, who's made Easy Bill his name calling.
He's a speed demon and is now gearing up to don a new avatar to take forward the family legacy. Meet 29-year-old Rahul Munjal. Armed with an economics degree from University of Rochester, Rahul kick-started his career as a management trainee, not with the family business but with Hindustan Levers. Short stints with Honda motorcycles and Honda ATV in the States followed. But his desire to be different and create his own company led him to change track in 2003. That's when Rahul decided to ride the services boom and launched his brainchild, Easy Bill.
It was our baby, yeah. It was, of course, I got a lot of help from my uncles and my grandfather. So, I was, at every step I was consulting them, telling them, this is what I'm planning to do, this is what the market looks like, this is what our business model looks like, this is where the Indian industry is headed in the business I'm in. And this is what I should do in order to make Easy Bill a success.
But did you carry out any kind of feasibility studies, any kind of market research? Because in an organized fashion, yours is the first sort of foray into this business.
We actually went out and we did a very large market research in 10 different cities in the country. And we tried to figure out how customers were paying bills and how would they like to pay bills. We understood timing was a big issue. We understood the behavior of the cashier was a big issue. We understood that customers wanted to pay cash. I'm sure you're aware of this, but 95% of people in India till today prefer paying cash, even if the bill is 10,000 rupees. But all in all, the research showed customers want reach, convenience and time. They want to go to somebody who's friendly. So all this led us to believe Easy Bill was the right model.
But right now you're functioning sort of out of corner shops, grocery stores, convenience stores. You don't want to set up individual Easy Bill outlets because probably that's not going to be a cost-effective model for you. But do you really see this being technology-driven, or do you think that you will have to hire in large numbers and man these retail units as you sort of get into more value-added services, if you will?
Customers love our reach. The fact that we are available everywhere is actually our biggest asset. So if we were to start creating our own outlets or manning them ourselves, our business model would change completely. And most of, today our company is a hybrid company. That's the beauty of Easy Bill. We use brick and mortar and we use technology, and we've married them together. So I heard an interesting term the other day, click and mortar. So we're actually a click and mortar company. So we use the existing retailers as franchisees. We train them, retrain them. We have a menu-driven technology, which is extremely easy for them to use. Today almost everybody is SMSing. So if you can SMS, you can use our technology.
So what else can we actually expect? Right now I can pay my water bills, my electricity bills, my phone bills, but what else will I be able to do through Easy Bill?
Our first objective is to make sure you can pay all your bills, all tax, be it taxes, be it insurance premiums, be it school fees, be it credit card payments, be it other banking charges, almost any payment that a household makes.
But are you also looking beyond individual customers? Do you also have tie-ups with, for instance, the phone companies, with the credit card companies and so on and so forth? So in a sense, are they outsourcing the collection part of their job to you?
They're in talks with us. They want us to handle a much larger piece of the pie, only because they see how professional we are and they see the way we operate, and they've liked what they've seen in us.
So you function as a BPO as well in that
We're
sense?
actually a BPO.
Okay.
We are a BPO of sorts. We've outsourced the bill collection part from a company, and we let these companies, utility companies, concentrate on their core business. It could be distributing electricity, it could be telephones, it could be water, it could be whatever. But bill payments is our core competency. So we go and tell them, outsource this, you'll save costs, you'll increase on efficiency, you'll increase on reach, and you'll increase on customer service.
Being the first large organized player in this space has given EasyBill a first mover advantage, and Rahul is keen to capitalize on that. So aggressive expansion plans are in the offing. EasyBill will soon reach 28 cities through a network of 5,000 outlets in the next 12 months. So what's been the growth driver? Ask Rahul, and the prompt response is keeping the customer happy.
EasyBill takes care of everything. I not only pay my bill, I pay my worries, tensions, stress, and what a concept it is.
If you want to find a business model, go ask customers, what inconveniences them the most. And once you ask enough customers, you'll know exactly what keeps popping out over and over again. So as we see it, there are several services today which are not as good as they should be, only because they lack in efficiency or in convenience. So these are the services which can very easily be rolled out through us.
What about you and the family? Because you're probably the only one who's sort of not doing something that's auto-related or not doing something which is really in that sense connected to the parent company. So how has that changed the equation for you within the family as well?
I think it's great. It's given me a perspective of what happens outside the automobile world or the automobile component world.
Have you inspired anybody else from your generation to look beyond auto?
Yes. I think as you see, couple of my other cousins who are graduating from colleges now and they're ready to get into work. I see most of them talking about either the financial sector or the investment banking. So now people are beginning to realize that yes, we need to diversify.
And in terms of just your mentor, because you come from a family of entrepreneurs who have been mentors to a whole generation of Indians, but for you personally, who would you regard as your mentor?
The chairman is definitely one of my mentors. And other than them, as of late, it is now Sunil Mittal. Seeing what he's done in a very short time, I think it's fantastic.
Rahul is the third generation entrepreneur of the Munjal family. Having one of India's most successful entrepreneurs for a grandfather has fired his ambition and given him the ability to spot opportunities. So EasyBill will soon diversify and provide value-added services like payment of school fee, insurance and tax payment. While funding is not an issue, Rahul is considering going public in the next 3 years.
We're actually not, I don't know if it's right to say we're considering VC funding. We're being offered a lot of VC funding. So it's, we don't know if we will take it or we won't take it. Time will tell.
So 2,000 outlets going to double in the next 12 months?
More than double, yeah.
More than double.
Yeah.
And you're looking at moving beyond the 14 cities as well into tier 2 and tier 3 cities.
We're going from 12 cities or 14 cities this year to 28 cities in the coming year. We're going from 2,000 outlets to at least 5,000 plus outlets. We're going from 120 people to 250 people.
That's the team that you're working with.
That's this
so
year
what kind
itself.
of money are we actually talking about for expansion?
There's going to be quite a bit of money required. Some of it is going to be through internal accruals. We have started generating quite a hefty top line now. So,
but you haven't broken even just yet.
One could break even any day. Break even is a function of growth.
Sure.
If we were to cut down on growth, we would break even. That's not
What was the initial investment that started EasyBill? just for our knowledge.
I'll tell you what, we are actually going to go public in 3 years, and I'll let you know everything.
You're going public in 3 years, is it?
That's the idea.
Okay.
3 to 4 years, yeah.
So if you were to sum up the EasyBill philosophy or the EasyBill tagline, what would it be?
It would be a lot like the Nike's tagline, just do it.
Rahul, thanks very much for speaking to us. We wish you the very best of luck with all your aggressive expansion plans, and we will get back to you in 3 years when you're going public to get all the intricate details from you. Thanks very much. Pleasure having you on this show.
Thank you.
Well, that's it then on this edition of Young Turks, but another young achiever right after this short commercial break. Stay with us. We'll be right back with you. You're watching CNBC TV 18.
young Turks. He super specializes in spine surgery, conducts medical camps in villages, participates in marathons, and jams with a music band over the weekends. He's also anchored a TV show. Dr. Abhiney Nene is multifaceted, to say the least.
It's almost a miracle. 3 months ago, Rachna Dutt met with a near-fatal accident and broke her spine. Conventional medical wisdom was that she take complete bed rest and avoid surgery that was so risky, it could have meant that she'd be paralyzed for life. But Rachna decided to go in for spine surgery after consulting Dr. Abhiney Nene. Today she's back on her feet just 5 days post the operation.
Did you always know you wanted to be a doctor? I mean, in the sense it's a, was it, pressure from family?
Nothing
Okay, you should
at
either
all.
become an engineer or a
No.
doctor.
Nothing at all. Of course, in a professional family, it's always engineer or doctor, at least in my time. And see, there were requisite marks. I actually took an admission in a chemical engineering college. And I secured a place, and then after that the med admissions came up, and they said I was going to make it in one of the better colleges in Bombay. So then generally it was fashionable to do medicine probably, and all my female friends were going to do medicine, so I said let's go and do it. So I had to just sort of take this decision on the top of my head, and I just went there, but there are no regrets because I can't imagine myself as anything else but
As a chemical
doctor.
engineer?
Not at all. Neither a doctor, anything apart from a doctor, neither anything apart from a surgeon.
Okay. So
Suddenly
once you got
realize
into
that.
medicine,
Yeah.
you found that you were interested in it, and
Yeah, it got damn
specializing in
streamlined. Yeah, it got
orthopedics
damn
and-
streamlined. Like when you're doing your medical studies, you're a surgical personality or a medical personality, a physician. So you know the surgical personalities, then the choice is between general surgery, orthopedics, maybe ophthalmology. Now general surgery is what we are all doting up to, because that's where all our teachers were, because we were not exposed to orthopedics. So we all wanted to become general surgeons. But then professionally, orthopedics is the field that is really hot, and everyone wants to do it. And fortunately, I had marks that were good enough to take me to orthopedics.
After you've specialized as a spine surgeon, then going abroad, you've been doing that regularly to
Yeah.
customize yourself to the
Yeah.
new technology. Can you just talk a little bit about that? I mean,
See, it started
how
off.
up to date are we here in India with all the technology?
Yeah, I think we are absolutely up to date. What we lack is facilities related to expensive instruments.
Okay.
Technically, we are totally adept. We have all the skills. So when we go abroad, when we perform, sometimes surgeries, people are extremely happy and impressed with what we are doing. So there's no two things about it. What we probably lack is, the uniformity in the medical structure in the smaller places in the country.
Okay.
For example, Bombay is a world city, Delhi is a world city, Bangalore. There's everything available here. No one will want to go anywhere else. But going abroad after a specialty was a risk that I had to take at the start of my career as a spine surgeon, and I paid and I went.
Why do you say it was a risk?
It was a risk because at that point I had to make a decision that I'm going to leave behind orthopedics, something that I'd sort of grown into for 3 years or 4 years of training. I knew I would have had to leave that behind and subspecialize or super specialize into spine, which is a different specialty from orthopedics, A. And B is that there were very few spine surgeons and we didn't know that this is going to work. I didn't know that doing spine surgery is going to work, because at that time, well, it's not too long back, but it was almost a situation where people would say, spine surgery means you'll get paralyzed. No, we'd rather die peacefully.
This, when we're talking about spine surgery, it's also an area which could get a lot of publicity because I would assume many of your patients are sports people.
Yeah, it's a sports related field also, and back pain is very, very common in sportsmen. We've seen cricketers, we've seen athletes, we've seen national level, all these national level sports people who come for back problems, acute or chronic, and we are very happy to treat them, diagnose them, and they are very happy with our, our sort of diagnosis and management plans.
But you haven't milked them for publicity.
No. What we lack is rehab centers, and most of these sportsmen don't have very serious operating kind of problems. until they retire, obviously. And they need very strong physical rehab. And that kind of rehab facility we are lacking. And hopefully we are now in the process of trying to organize something, at a higher level to give, say, what Australia or South Africa is giving their sportsmen, a big rehab center which has all trained staff. And I was in Germany last year trying to look at some, technical apparatuses that can be bought here and, used to implement on these kind of sportsmen, so they don't have to keep going out of the country, because they have reasonably good doctors here.
Abhay is pretty careful about his fitness routine. He says that though backaches, spondylitis and spine injuries are now fairly common, especially with working people in the city, most of these could be corrected by back conditioning, regular exercise and lifestyle changes. As little as 2% of back problems actually require surgery.
Rural setup, it's a disadvantage. So I cannot ever imagine getting out of a city to serve the nation, so to say, and get into a smaller place as much as I want to practice. For example, we go to Badrinath and Kedarnath every year to do medical camps, and I've done even appendix and piles operations there, because you cannot do spine surgery over there because the need is for basic fracture, plasters, etc.
You mentioned that you're a part of a startup which is Mumbai Medical Tourism. What exactly is
that's one of the ways that we know that we're as good as the world, because people from all corners of the world are seeking treatment in Bombay and in India. I mean, all cities of India, because we are really up to date. The problem is that in say in Europe, most places in Europe, especially UK, most people are under the NHS, and NHS is the National Health Scheme, where to get a regular cold surgery, so to say, non-emergency surgery, the waiting period is anywhere between 6 months to 2 years. There are occasions where cancer has increased by 2 stages by the time the person has come up for an operation. If they go to private medical care in UK, then they will end up spending their hand and a leg. It's really expensive. So they spend much less coming down, flying here, getting a package deal with a good tertiary care world-class hospital, getting their op done, maybe even visiting Goa for all they wish, for rehab, and then go back home, and they spend much less and they're confident with us.
We're talking about India is truly world class when it comes to medicine. What do you think of the new quota system?
I think it's a really, really bad thing, and it's illogical to have quota system coming in the way of educational policies, because you cannot have people who are not intelligent enough to do a job that's to be done by an intelligent person. So, for example, a very, very successful cricketer may not be intelligent, but he's still very successful. So, people who are not intelligent, in the sense who are not studious and not academic, can find a niche in something else. But why do you herd them into the, that group of people who need to use a lot of IQ and a lot of basic training and basic knowledge and information to discharge their specialities? And I'm looking at a time when someone is going to take the government to court because a person who was poorly qualified but has made it through because of the quota system has spoilt that person's case. And this is going to happen, you believe me, because this is just not done. I'm risking, hurting many people here, but I strongly feel about this, and I think most people in the profession feel very, very strongly about it. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest.
And Dr. Nene may have something in common with Dr. Palash Sen, but unlike Euphoria, he's not sure how far his musical career will take him, especially because like him, his bandmates are working professionals, and the flunkies, as they call themselves, get little time to meet for regular practice.
Like the sleepy blue ocean, you fill up my senses, comfort me again. We thought we'll never make it. So we said, let's announce upfront we are the flunkies. But no, we got together. There are some professionals with me. Professionals, they do their own things just like I do. No doctors, but they are all into different fields of music. And we just get together, jam. We have common music interests, acoustic music, rock, soft rock music. So it started off just like us getting together and jamming at parties. And then we got serious, and then we even have taken a few performances now. And we are still the flunkies. but maybe we'll be...
So once you make it, will you change the name?
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I think the next time we meet on an interview, I'll be seeing you as a rock star. I wish I am.
Well, all the best for music, and I hope you are as successful as you have been.
I'm looking forward to that.
Much.
Thank you, Anita.
We'll take a short break, but coming up on the other side, we'll find out more about our young Turks. Welcome back to Young Turks. It's now time for us to put the same set of questions to both our young Turks and see how they compare.
Screw it, just do it.
Focus and work hard on what you want to do.
Essential, but it's not everything.
Not important.
Companionship.
The best friend I have in the world.
That's it then on this edition of Young Turks. As always, write to us, youngturks@tv18online.com. That's our email address. Tell us what you think of our show. Also, if you've got any other interesting personalities in mind and they're under the age of 35, then do send us their profiles and we'll see what we can do about them. Catch us again, same time, same place next week as we continue to bring you 2 more Indian success stories. From all of us here, goodbye. Thanks for watching.